Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is. It's episode 23 of Up in Your Business, and we are here with Audrey and Sam, the two founders, owners of what you may know as Nitro Nitro Bar. Super excited for this one. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for having us.
We're psyched.
As big coffee lovers here and big fans of Nitro Bar, I'm really excited for this. So let's just get into it here. Our first segment we do here is called 20 Questions. Not sure if you're familiar with it. It's not actually 20, but it's rapid fire, sort of like you would think. Okay. Where there's two of you, I think the best route here is we'll switch off.
Yeah.
So you start and we'll go back and forth, all right?
Perfect.
All right.
Got
You
it.
guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
High pressure.
Yes, we're ready.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite snack?
Muddy Buddies.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone for sure.
Left or right?
Right.
Pick a number 1 to 10.
6.
Favorite number?
5.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Steak or chicken?
Chicken.
Oh, no, I skipped a couple. Favorite drink? I'll go to you now.
What?
Favorite drink?
Beer?
All right. Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced coffee.
Oreo or Chips Ahoy?
Oreo.
Favorite vegetable?
Brussels sprouts.
Work from home or in an office?
I work in an office, sure.
Your biggest inspirational role model?
Emily Weiss of Glossier.
Last time you ran a mile or close?
A couple weeks ago,
Coolest place you've ever traveled?
Stockholm.
Ooh, first job ever.
I picked up litter.
I'm sorry, I totally judged you when you said Brussels sprouts. I don't know if you saw my face, but I
I
was like,
actually
good.
hate Brussels sprouts. I just couldn't think of an answer fast enough, and it was the first thing that came
you
to
like
mind.
You love asparagus.
Green beans.
Oh,
They're
green beans is
real.
good.
Yeah,
I like
they're
Audrey will
real. The
eat them.
truth.
You'll eat green beans raw.
I used to hate broccoli, but now I love broccoli.
Yeah.
But Brussels sprouts is still something.
I'm not a big fan, but
You gotta fry them up
It
real
flows.
nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, there's a restaurant actually that we work with that does it as like an appetizer, and
yeah?
they put in like bacon and pancetta and
you
like
go.
caramelized onions. And
Right.
So
it's all
I
about
could
the
maybe
extra
tolerate
stuff.
it then.
Yeah, right,
but,
exactly.
Once you make it all unhealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Put
Take out
bacon
all
on
the
anything.
nutrients and then
Yeah.
maybe it's good.
Right.
Just coat it with.
Yeah.
Did you really ask him coffee or tea?
I know. I was just in the moment. It was rapid fire for me too.
No, it's good.
I know. I got to it as soon as I let it go. I was like, that was dumb.
That was great.
All right. So here we go. I got a lot of questions. Here.
Okay, we're ready.
Let's hit it.
Let's drill into it. All right.
go.
So when did you two meet, and how did your love for coffee first come about?
We met when we were sophomores in high school. So that was 12 years ago? I don't really know.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
We went to North Kingstown High School.
Oh, what year did you graduate?
2011.
Okay, so you're younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I know.
Went
anyone.
to
I went to
Exeter.
WG.
Oh, okay. No way.
So I'm from Exeter.
Yeah, right
Nice.
around the corner.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Neighbors.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
neighbors.
much.
South County.
Love for coffee. When did it begin?
Well, Audrey used to go to coffee shops every morning. So
Yeah.
when we started hanging out, I would go with her to the coffee shops every morning. And we just kind of started to go to different coffee shops around Rhode Island. And then she moved to go to school and college in New York City. So I'd visit her there,
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
the coffee shops there. So that's kind of how it started.
New York's got some
right.
good coffee
Yeah,
shops.
yeah. We had a lot more to choose from in
Yeah.
New York versus Rhode Island. But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so that was, you said 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, when we first met sophomores in high school. Yeah. So 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so how did that sort of going to all these coffee shops and stuff, what sparked the idea to hey, let's turn this into a business?
I think what really did it was going to school in New York and seeing all of these cool, comfortable coffee shops that I felt inspired to go into. And then coming home to Rhode Island, and there were all these rinky dinky coffee shops that I didn't really like the coffee at. So New York was a huge inspiration to us when we came back home. We were we want to bring someplace that we could find in Brooklyn, in Providence. Yeah.
More than just a place to go into and grab a coffee.
Right,
but,
exactly.
you said almost a place you're inspired to go into.
Right,
You
an
see it,
environment, right,
Yeah.
an atmosphere, a feeling. That's what we wanted to bring. Yeah.
That's cool.
Create a community of people around
Right.
the coffee shop.
Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely have that. So
Yeah.
it
Thank
worked
you.
out.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
And so I guess when you guys first started, because I don't know if I actually told you this, Mike, but or you probably know, but they started as Nitro Cart, just the cart.
Yeah, didn't you guys just go around
Yeah.
random places, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we Audrey's dad and I built a small cart built out of wood in his basement that he had in there for like 20 years.
Oh my
And I was like,
God.
can we just use these? We didn't have much money at all. And we used our own money, maxed out credit cards to build a cart, get like brewing equipment from a local brew store somewhere down southern Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
How did you know, like how to engineer, like the nitro and you use the CO2, right? And like all that stuff.
We use pure nitrogen. So it was a mixture of like asking the people that are at the brew place, like in South Kingstown. And then also Audrey's uncle is a food scientist and has worked with Nestle for 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
For a
cow.
And so
while.
he helped us a lot with
That's
like,
helpful.
Yeah, that was super helpful. Especially back when we started doing Nitro cold brew. No one had it down where they would pour a consistent pour. So every time you pulled like the tap, it would come out the same way.
Yeah.
And he sort of had this new idea of how to make it pour consistently. So we came out with that, which was nice. But
What's your uncle's name?
Terry,
Shout out Uncle Terry. Looking it up.
shout out.
Damn, that's crazy. Because so when you guys first started, was it Nitro Brew like from the start?
Yeah, pretty much. We had been experimenting that winter in Jamestown, and we were making cold brew ourselves, and we'd have people over and make them try it. And then we were like, how cool would this be if it poured from a tap? And how cool would it be if it was on Nitro, similar to a Guinness?
Yeah.
So that's
I was
where-
at the time working at a bar, and I was just getting really into craft beer, and just thought of the idea of, we had seen it before and just thought it would be really cool to focus on that as the Nitro cart.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was a good like sort of train to get on because it became like the new craze.
Yeah.
And now it's like the thing.
Yeah, it's everywhere
And-
now.
I mean, you guys might have started that train.
I wouldn't say we started it, but yeah.
yeah, that's why Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks are doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Rip-offs,
I don't
rip-offs.
really ever get Starbucks Nitro Brew. Their cold brew is pretty good, but
Yeah.
the only times I've gotten the Nitro Brew, it's like decent.
Yeah.
I feel like what I guess I'm saying is like it's really cool that that's like how you guys started and like you just became like experts in that.
Right.
Because now there's like all these coffee shops that are like, oh, we're gonna add it and like try to do it ourselves, and it just is like,
Right. Yeah.
like it's
Thank
not
you.
great.
So how much trial and error was it to find the right recipe?
Yeah.
Or did you have your friends
It
over
was
for
a
like one of those
ton.
tastings and it was like, oh, this is terrible?
Yeah.
You wanna tell 'em about the first?
Yeah. So when we first built the cart, we were looking for events to go to, and the only place that would take us was like a sheep shearing in Jamestown. So we were like, fuck it, we've got to do this.
Can we swear on this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Fuck
We
yeah.
swear a lot. So
good.
yeah. So we made the cold brew the night before, and then the next morning with the event, we went to try it, and we were like, holy shit, this is really dark. And we tried it, and it was like very strong, sort of like you had just like taken.
So what
something.
I've learned to now perfect, but is like growing a ratio from like brewing it really small to brewing it into like a bigger quantity. So when I did the recipe to scale it up for this event, I did something wrong, and I basically made like a quadruple concentrate, and like that's what we ended up serving.
So people were coming up to us, and they were like,
It was basically a lot of our
they
family
were all
too.
shaking, and they were like, that is the best coffee I've ever had. Can I have more?
And speaking of Terry, we got a text from Terry at like 1 a.m. being like, "This is great. This is an amazing idea." And it was like 1 a.m. Like
He was like, I haven't been able to sleep. We were like,
He was still up
sorry.
from,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. We were like, oh my God.
It's like
Yeah.
espresso. You
Yeah.
kind of just made your own espresso.
Yeah, it was really strong. But yeah, we've learned from that.
So you decided that was too strong.
Yeah,
and
that
cut
was
it a
way,
little.
way
yeah,
too much.
Yeah. Then we
but
dialed it in, and
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure that would turn into like more costs going into like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Had to dial that in too. Yeah.
I already had it. Where did I go? Oh yeah. So did either of you guys have full-time jobs when you first started pushing this cart around?
So I was working with another startup in Providence, which I loved. I was working with like a vegan, basically like a vegan version of Amazon.
Oh, okay.
A while ago, before veganism was really what it is right now. But
Yeah.
that was really cool. And then I sort of transitioned into working with the Nitro cart full time as we were ramping up and getting bigger. And you were working at a bar.
I was bartending, and I was in school, but not really into it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of what brought this. I was like, let's
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah.
I guess it might have been like a nice transition not having to, or I guess I'm assuming like with the cart, did you start doing it like part-time and then slowly it kept growing? And
Well, with the startup that I was working with, it was pretty remote. So and Sam would work at night bartending. So we started bringing the cart every day to Providence. And we were super persistent in the beginning. We would make like no money, no money.
were you just like giving them out, or are you just charging like
We
a
were
buck or two?
charging like something, not what we charge right now.
Yeah, I mean,
but
we were charging a lower amount, but it was just
Yeah.
the volume of people. Like no,
no
one
one
really knew
knew
about
us.
us.
We looked like a random cardboard box popped up in the streets of Providence.
We put a lot of work into that cart, though.
I wouldn't have trusted it though if I saw that, you know. But yeah.
But we really focused on every person that came up to the cart, like have a conversation with them, like because we generally wanted to like meet people. We wanted to talk to everybody. It was a way to good conversation piece. And
Yeah, we were in that weird phase of like right when you graduate college and you feel super lost and you're like, what is life now?
Yeah.
So we were like, we need to find a community, and what better way to do that through coffee.
So when you first started, was it like, all right, we have this cart, let's figure out we need X amount of dollars to break even today? Or is it more like, let's go out there and just get customers?
Yeah, let's go out there and get customers. We had such low startup, being that we used like spare wood, and we would only buy coffee when we went through it because we were running at such small scale. So we weren't looking at costs as hard back in the beginning. It was just let's get as many people to drink this as possible. Yeah.
Do you still have that first cart?
We
actually burned it.
Oh, you did?
But
that sounds dramatic.
because we were upgrading. We were upgrading to because it was literally a cardboard. It was like the thinnest wood. It was starting to like really
the particle board you get from
like
but even
terrible.
thinner than that. But I cut out the where we stenciled out the Nitro cart, and I like signed our name, and Audrey's dad signed it, and that's in our house somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
somewhere.
cool.
Yeah,
That'll be a cool relic.
Yeah.
we'll keep it for a bit.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah.
so like over time, like how did you evolve from that first cart into like, let's open a location? Like,
Yeah, so towards the end of that first summer season, we were getting pretty discouraged because we would go out every day and not make any money. And it was discouraging to sit out there and, pretty embarrassing. And then towards the end of the summer, Sam and I had the idea of, wait, why don't we try this with people that are similar age to us? Maybe we're sitting in the wrong area. So we popped up at Brown when the students came back, and Sam had gone himself that day because I was so like, fuck it, I can't sit out there anymore.
Yeah, it was like our not last week, but we were like, you know what, maybe
We're done with this. Yeah.
it was fun. We wanted to try it out.
Yeah. And then Sam called me like 2 hours in, and he was like, I just had a line of 20 people for the past like 2 hours. We have no more coffee.
oh my God.
So then that's when we were like, oh shit, we were sitting at the wrong spot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What was that moment like? Was that like for you being out there? Were you like, wow, like super excited?
I was just like, there's 15 people in line. I'm just gonna keep doing this. No one knows that like Audrey's not here. Like our friends that have seen us before. So I just called her and I was like, we got to go back here.
Yeah, I think we
tomorrow.
made like $400 that day, but we had been used to making like 20, 40. So to go from that to 400, it was funny. We looked back on our Square account and we saw that day.
Yeah, I
and
feel
it
like we
was
should,
like,
Oh, no way.
because we always,
should
we always say
screenshot.
that. Yeah, like we legit made like $25 consistently a day for like the summer, and
yeah.
it's funny that
Yeah.
to actually see it.
Yeah,
It's
it
crazy
was
how
awesome.
one location all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it changes it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say, it's actually like your point about talking to people and like actually starting conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was at PVD Fest last year, not like 6 months ago or whatever, a couple months ago, but last year. And I remember I was at, do you know the little skate park they built next to Trinity?
Yeah.
I was right there and the cart was like popped up right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to go grab one. And the guy was like, I don't remember his name, but he was super friendly.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, how you doing? Like,
That must
what's
have been
going on?
Zach.
I think
That was Zach.
That was definitely
Yeah.
He was cool. He was
Yeah.
like, he started a conversation and I was like, this is better than
Yeah. Everyone that works with us feels similarly too. They want to make friends and they want to talk to
even
people.
like the people in the locations. I live
Yeah.
in Providence, so I go to the Providence one every once in a while.
Yeah.
They're always super friendly.
Yeah, talkative. Yeah.
It's good.
And I feel once you get into that Providence community, like they embrace you.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
You get
for
a
sure.
following and they just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah.
When you guys were starting this, was, starting a business is like super risky. And from like parents' perspective, sometimes it's like, oh, you don't want to do that. Like from friends and family? Like, did you guys have a lot of support, or did you have any kind of doubt from loved ones?
Who wants to start? You or me?
If you want.
Yeah, no, we definitely, in the beginning, it definitely sounded really weird to everyone. I had just spent a ton of money on college, had debt, and then to say I'm going to go get a peddler's license and sit out on the street and sell coffee, people are like, no, what are you doing? You can't do that. Do you know how hard it is? It's so hard. There's so many ways to fail.
Yeah.
And that was challenging for sure, to be like 22 and have people telling that to you, and to be like, but I still just want to try it. It's okay if it fails. I don't really care. I just want to see. So yeah, that was definitely one of the most challenging parts. Every older person that you talk to will say, don't do this. This is a bad idea. And what we've sort of come to realize, looking back on that, is a lot of people wish that they started their own thing, and they're looking for an excuse to say why they didn't. They use the fact that they think it's really hard. So they want to impose that on you if you're doing your own thing.
Or like you said, there's so many ways to fail. Like
exactly. Right. As to why they didn't do their own thing.
And also the older people kind of have, I feel like, an older mind state where it's go find a 9 to 5, go get a salary job, don't create something on your own.
Exactly. Right. Have job security, all of that.
What did you go to school for?
Economics and international business.
Okay. So you can apply.
So you're gonna open up a Nitro bar like in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be the goal.
Japan.
One day. Yeah.
What about you? Did you go to college?
I went to college for a little bit for civil engineering, but quickly realized that was not what I wanted to do.
My cousin does it. And I don't know how
that sounds tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
definitely
not my thing.
A challenging one. Yeah.
What was the time period between Nitro Cart and then like opening the first location?
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
we
quick.
did the cart by itself was the first summer and into fall, and then we started doing the cart and the wholesale.
Yep.
And then we did the cart and the wholesale for 1 year. So then we opened up our first store January of 2018.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Was it 2018 or 2017? 2018.
Wow.
2018. Yeah. Because we started the cart in 2016 in summer.
Yep.
Then wholesale in the cart 2017, and then January 2018.
Yep.
And the Providence location now was that was the first one?
Yeah. That was the first one.
Why a bicycle shop? I'm curious. I like it, but
Great question.
Well, we loved Leo from Dash. He actually approached us and heard we were looking for space, and it was the perfect amount of space for us to start with. It was 600 square feet. The rent was really reasonable, and we loved the West End. We lived there, so it worked out really well. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like just a cool story, and like now I remember the first time I went. They were like, "Oh yeah, you got to go to Nitro Bar. Like, it's in a bike shop." And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It definitely felt right. It felt right to do that.
Yeah. We love all the people that work there, so the community vibe was just there, and everyone.
Do you think you've brought increased sales to the bike shop?
We hope so.
Yeah.
Or maybe vice versa.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we see people all the time who are in line just looking at bikes. So yeah. I would hope so.
We definitely feed off each other.
Get some time.
Yeah, exactly. You can look around. Yeah, right.
That's funny.
Right.
What are some of the challenges in starting a business like yours that maybe people don't know about, or that are different from other businesses, like maybe something like ours or something like that? Like,
Sam, why don't you start with a few challenges? There's so many. Where to begin?
I don't know. That's specific to ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe some things that you guys experienced starting that maybe like people overlook from the outside.
I think a really challenging thing that people don't understand is most likely you won't be making any money for the first year or two. Yeah, so everyone comes up to you and it might look like you're killing it, and you could be killing it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're growing, your team has to make incomes and they come first. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big thing that people don't realize is you have to be willing to make no money and eat ramen noodles every single day if you want to do your own thing. And not a lot of people are willing to do that.
Yeah. You got to be cool with eating shit for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're in it for more than just making money. You know what I mean? You're in it for a lot more than that.
And
you guys definitely did not start this business to make money.
No, we didn't. No.
We wanted the community. We wanted all that.
Right.
We were psyched.
Right. And any money that we did make, we put right back into growing. Right. So, yeah, I think that's a big misconception that people...
It's a perfect segment.
I mean, we run into that a problem here a little bit
Yeah.
where people are just like, oh, you can just give me a job, right?
Yeah, and we're like, no, I wish. Yeah, it totally
We got
doesn't
bills
work
to
like
pay.
that.
We
Yeah,
got
exactly.
expenses. We got
Yeah,
equipment.
definitely. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Pushing past people too. Just when people come with you with their negative ideas, or not negative ideas, but negative perceptions of starting your own thing. And that for me is challenging, because anytime you go talk to someone, they're like, are you sure that's going to work? I don't know.
Or you should do it like this. Or
Yeah,
why don't
do
you
it like
do this?
this.
And you,
Yeah.
you know, you might question yourself of like, oh, should I be doing that? Or is that the right move? But I think just sticking to what you know is
Right.
what you should
Yeah.
be doing. It's a good way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So breaking into the coffee space, did you guys have to like pass anyone? Was any competition that like people kind of, you know,
Yeah. So
any beefs?
No, thankfully. Yeah, the coffee community in Providence is really awesome. Brian from Bolt is one of our really good friends. Brian from Borealis is awesome as well.
Yeah.
We've been really good friends with everyone.
Yeah, like it's the same thing from the beginning. Is like we just wanted to build a community of people, and we're not in here to, you know.
Right. And everyone drinks
competitive
coffee,
or-
so there's room for so many coffee
Yeah.
shops to do well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no beef, thankfully. Yeah.
It's also like you guys said, like the community, like that's sort of how Providence is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, doing this podcast, we've got to talk to a lot of really cool business owners, and the kind of like group consensus is all the same. Like nobody's here to like beat the neighbor.
Yeah, no.
Like,
Yeah.
everybody's like kind of working together. Like you said, there's enough coffee shops. Like,
Right, for
there's
everyone
enough
to do
people
well.
here to have coffee shops everywhere. Like
Right.
nobody's here to like beat you. Like
No.
it's kind of like
Exactly.
everybody wants to like work together and
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
And-
I'm sure you guys want to see other shops succeed just as much as
Absolutely.
they want to see you guys succeed.
Yeah, and
Right.
if you notice, a lot of Providence businesses like to collaborate together. Like we love
Yeah.
collaborating with other businesses.
For sure.
So
Yeah,
everyone likes to
definitely.
like feed off each other instead
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
beefing.
Yeah.
That's why I hid my coffee over here.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
this is
dude,
it.
come on.
It's okay.
Come on now.
No free advertising.
It's actually a perfect segue because I was curious. I was writing up questions and talking about like collaborations. Like PB Donuts has collaborations with other people. Like there's so many businesses that do collaborations. Like, do you guys have some stories to share of collaborations you've done and kind of like what they've been like? And
Yeah, for sure. We've done a bunch of collabs. We've done PB Donuts, Long Live,
we did
Vic's
beer.
Ice
Cool.
Cream, Rebel.
Yeah.
We've done a ton. Yeah.
by the way, speaking of Rebel, I
Yes.
had one of the Pop Tarts for the first time the other day when I went in.
they're
Yeah, they're
amazing.
really good.
right?
Unbelievable. We
Was
split
that the one that you
was the
gave
one I
me?
brought
Yeah.
in.
You-
Oh,
brown
that was-
sugar. Brown sugar is my favorite.
I tried the strawberry, and as
Okay.
soon as I took the strawberry out of the lady's hand,
Yeah.
the girl next to me who had just got one, she goes, "You gotta try brown sugar." I was like, "I can't make two today.
Yeah.
I can't do it." I was like, "I need to."
Yeah, those are freaking
Weirdly,
amazing.
I never thought about making Pop Tarts at home
Yeah.
until like Rebel put it out, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is a
But a
genius
fun
idea.
collab was with Long Live, doing the
Yeah.
beer and seeing it canned. That was
Yeah,
really
Armando
cool.
from
So
Long
what,
Live.
what was that like? Like you guys had like some of your nitro like
yeah.
infused in one of their beers.
So-
Basically.
Yeah, and we just gave him like, you know, some of our cold brew that we make in house, and he just like infused it some sort of way to do his thing. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it still around right now for people to try?
it's just like limited releases. We do it every once in a while whenever he has space.
Spare time, yeah.
to put it
When's
out.
the next one? Do we know?
Not, we
He,
don't know
he
yet.
literally just will text me and be like, "Hey,
You want to do one?
I'm ready."
Yeah, and we'll
all
be
right,
like, all
let's
right.
do it.
hey, well,
Let's
let us
go.
know. We'll pick up a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah, we'll
buy a
spread the
couple.
word. We'll spread the word.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was definitely cool.
So is that a porter, right? When you put
It's a stout.
a stout.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
stout.
right.
Yeah.
But we have some of the cans and we put them up on the shelf at the bar in Providence, and
Yeah.
people like come up that haven't been in before, and they're like, "Oh, cool! Can I get one of those cans to go?" I'm like, "You guys sell beer here?" I'm like, "No, it's just for display."
Yeah.
We're proud of that.
And I don't think
Yeah.
you can sell beer to go either.
I wish.
Jump in my car real quick.
Yeah. Take
Throw
it
it
to
with your
go.
coffee to go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
And you actually had a good point too. You talked about bringing, like the money you get in is like you're investing it all back into growing.
Right.
I'm curious, like when you guys were really starting, like what was, I guess like your biggest source of marketing, and what did you really like put the most dollars into?
So we don't spend any money on marketing, but we do post to Instagram heavily.
Yeah.
That's definitely where we've found an awesome following.
Audrey kills it on the Instagram.
No, thank you. Now it's Corey. Corey kills it.
Audrey and Corey, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Instagram has definitely been a huge influence for us.
A lot of our money went into like in the beginning, like when we would start getting more wholesale clients, we would purchase like, all the brewing equipment, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it was like we'd get money and then put it all into that.
Yeah. Right.
So did you guys do any like traditional advertising when you first started, or was it just all like putting time into like social media?
Yeah. No traditional ad. We still haven't done any. It's just been
Good for
time
you.
into Instagram and stuff.
That is awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's like what we push is like a
Yeah.
lot of our clients, like some of our clients still do some
Yeah.
traditional ads, and it's hard for us because we know that like the work we do and like the videos
Yeah.
we do, like we could help that become much more successful. But,
Right. Yeah.
and then, we're lucky that some of our clients are like you guys, like very heavy into social media and understand like
Yeah. Right.
the benefits of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you guys have such a unique market.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
pretty much there's no other cart going around Providence,
Right,
right? Like when you
right.
first started
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Definitely no other cart going around. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually one of my next points was like you guys have like an incredible presence on Instagram. Like
For sure.
everything just looks amazing, and
thank you.
it reminds me of like it's almost like a website or like something like you open it and it's like a menu just like right there. You're like, oh shit, like, you see everything that you can do. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
been that process of like building that, and where did you kind of get inspiration from to make it the way it is?
Yeah, so we pull inspiration from everywhere. Like I said, Emily Weiss from Glossier, I love their approach to Instagram where they're
Cool.
very real and transparent. So we tried to follow a similar approach. We also love working with local photographers. Cassidy is an awesome one. Catherine Drunken is another one. But yeah, so we'll usually do a photo shoot, get a bunch of pictures, as well as sharing content from our followers, which is really fun.
Yeah, every time
Yeah.
I don't know if it's you or if it's someone
Yeah.
else, but like recently I've been a few times. and
Yeah.
every time I put it up, someone replies, they're like, "Hey, I love it."
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you guys share it.
Yeah. We love sharing just because I think that's interesting. I like to see, how
Audrey and
people
Corey are
using.
very engaged with
Yeah.
like everybody that's.
It's also like from a consumer standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
like to have a brand that actually reads it, sees it, and actually responds
Right.
like with a personal like they don't just double tap or whatever.
Yeah,
like
right.
that like actually means something to a consumer. Be like,
Yeah.
oh wow, this brand like actually cares.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
They're really seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt that too. And I would like shout people out and then a big brand responds. I'm like, oh my God, they actually do care
Yeah.
about, who's consuming their
Exactly.
product. Or, so yeah, that's super important to us.
And it's all free.
Yeah. Right.
So you don't have to-
Exactly.
It's all
Yeah.
free
Yeah,
advertising.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So why not?
That's
It's
going to be
fun.
like its own clip right there, like how to grow your brand.
Yeah.
Instagram for free.
Yeah. Instagram. It's free.
It's so cool.
Yeah. It's free.
When you went to growing your Instagram following,
Mm-hmm.
was it just on the Nitro cart, just your handle,
Mm-hmm.
or do you hand out cards to people with like the whenever they bought a coffee? Like, what was your way of going about growing your audience?
Oh yeah, good question.
It was like word of mouth too, but also
Yeah.
like when people would come up to the cart and talk to us, like, you know what I mean? They would just ask us, "What are you guys doing next? Where you popping up next?" And we would just always say to follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also we're very into things being aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
We love like minimalist looks and just things that are intriguing to look at. So incorporating that into the cart and to the bars has really helped because people naturally walk in and want to take a picture and post
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So that's something that's been really awesome for us, for
Cool.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can say for myself, I was waiting for mine the other day at the one
Yeah.
in Providence.
Yeah.
And I'm not the best iPhone photographer, but I was like, oh, this place is just so
Yeah,
cool.
let me take a
Like,
pic. Yeah.
It also helps like from a branding perspective, like people just see it and they're like, oh, yeah, that's Nitro Bar.
Yeah,
That's
right.
definitely them.
Yeah,
Like,
for
it's
sure.
perfect.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
All right, so I've had coffee from like all over, and it was funny. I was telling Mike we had a wedding this weekend in New Hampshire, and we had like the free breakfast in the morning at the hotel, and the coffee tasted like garbage.
Yeah.
So like, what makes good coffee? Like I've had terrible coffee, I've had great coffee. Like, talk about what makes it so good.
Yeah.
Or like, how do you do that?
I think that's definitely dependent on the person drinking it for sure.
Yeah.
Right. But
Well, also like, you know, we have our Nitro cold brew, we have our espresso that we use, our drip coffee. So I think it also has to do with like the equipment you're using, the way you're preparing it.
Yep.
You know, we work with a lot of people on our team that dial in our espresso perfectly every single day. So like you're getting the perfect shot every time you're getting a coffee from us.
Right.
Our drip coffee, we use like, you know, the best
Right.
brewing equipment, and it's the coffee beans that we're using.
It's definitely the two main factors are obviously the coffee beans and the water.
Okay.
Having purified, clean water makes such a difference with how the coffee will actually taste, as well as where you're getting the beans when they were roasted, how fresh is it, all of that can influence how the taste is.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with that equation for like the perfect espresso? Like, do you have like someone running quality control or someone running tests?
So
like,
that's
stuff like that?
actually Cole, who is our coffee director. He takes care of all of that.
Coffee director. That's a cool
Yeah,
title.
that's like
That's a cool title.
He wears
He's
many
like-
titles.
Yeah.
But one of them
He's like
is-
coffee director,
and
general
Nick Berry.
manager.
Yeah, definitely.
Nick Berry does all that stuff as
They're
well.
both like the coffee geeks, we should say. Yeah, they're very into coffee. So we're super grateful to have them.
So you guys just surrounded yourself with an awesome team.
Yeah,
pretty
always
much, to
hire
do all
people that are smarter than you. That's a rule that we follow. Yeah.
And who love coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
coffee.
And who love coffee for sure. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I guess like I have a specific question about like the beans.
Yeah.
You said like how fresh they are and when they're roasted.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like other places, like what makes it bad? Like if you roast them and then they sit for like a week or something like that?
If they sit for a week and the bag isn't sealed properly and it's just like sort of sitting out and goes a bit
It's like
stale.
timed.
Yeah.
We get the freshest beans that are roasted, and they like there's just a process. Like they roast our beans the way that they do it.
Yeah.
And then like they sit for 7 days, which is like the proper amount of time you're supposed to allow roasted beans to sit to
Okay.
get all the flavors out of it, and then it's just repeated in a cycle that is like the freshest beans that we can get every time.
Right. We also like a dark blend. That's like, I always say, to me, in my eyes, I hate to compare it to this, but Dunkin' Donuts is like a light roast, and then Starbucks is more of a dark roast.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're more of like on the dark roast side for all of our coffees.
Okay.
Which to me and to Sam is like way more drinkable. And I personally like it
Yeah,
more.
it's
All my
preference.
friends like it more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we want to go with.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Do you ever like see flavored nitro coffee at all? Is that even possible? Or
We do that by like adding a house-made vanilla syrup afterwards or stuff like that, or like our vanilla latte. I guess wouldn't be like flavored.
Yeah, but you're, like on tap, I think there's companies that do that.
yeah,
right?
they'll do like different roasts. Yeah. Yep.
so is that all just the bean, whatever the bean tastes?
Yeah,
like?
right. The origin of the bean, where it was grown, what time of year it was grown. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a good episode for coffee lovers.
Yeah,
A
I can
lot to learn here.
find all the info on coffee.
So like Providence was open for like how
Mm-hmm.
long before Newport?
For a year.
A year and a half.
Yeah, almost a year. Yeah. A
And
little less than a
then
year.
I guess like what was the decision to like open one, and then why Newport?
Yeah. So we definitely, when we initially started this, we knew that we wanted to do something big. So we always had a plan of doing multiple coffee shops. And then Providence has been like our little test kitchen.
Sure.
So seeing sales sort of like increase every month, and to go like a full 150% increase in sales from like when we started to 6 months in, we were like, okay, this is obviously working.
Yeah.
So why not go to a second location? And Sam and I have always had a really big passion and love for Newport. We
Yeah,
love the
Newport's cool.
beach. Yeah, love walking outside. Love all the old houses and the history.
We
so
lived there for like on and off for 6 years.
yeah,
so.
and we always worked in restaurants over there. So it was sort of a natural thing for us to go to Newport.
That's cool.
For sure. Yeah.
Must be real good in the summertime too, with all those
Yeah.
tourists.
Yeah, definitely. We opened like right at the beginning of summer too. So like as soon as we opened our doors, it sort of like started.
Yeah.
And we would be there. And when we opened Providence, it took a minute for people to catch on and figure out where we were. And then when we opened Newport, it was sort of like instant that
Yeah.
people found us. So to be behind the bar and just sort of seeing a line going out the door within like the first 2 weeks of opening was sort of surreal.
Yeah, that's
we were
so
like,
cool.
oh shit, this
Yeah.
actually does work. So yeah, that was awesome.
So where's the next one?
We're looking.
Yeah.
We're
Any
looking
ideas?
right now. Yeah, if you hear of any awesome
hear of any
spots, let us
places?
know.
I would say Pawtucket, but I just don't know.
I don't know how you do in Pawtucket.
Yeah, Pawtucket would be a little bit scary, but maybe it would work.
Audrey wants to do one in Brooklyn one day.
Yeah, definitely. We would love
That
to
would
go.
do super well.
Yeah, Brooklyn it'd be a different game though, because
Yeah.
there is competition there. On
Right,
every street,
right.
there's
Oh,
two
yeah.
coffee shops, so
Yeah.
you have to have something that's really standing out. but I think it would be a really fun challenge. We're looking in Newport or Providence for a third one right now. If you guys see any good
Providence
spots.
is a good size. So, I mean, you
Yeah.
could still like, you're on the west side now, like do one on
Yeah.
the east side.
Yeah, and we need more space in our shop that we have right now, so we need more room.
What about like Bristol or something like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
Bristol's a good one, yeah.
we've
Yeah.
looked at spots in Bristol. Bristol, I think, would be awesome.
Because that's kind of like the like more
in
money,
between,
like
yeah, exactly.
the higher end,
yeah,
kind of like a
it's-
Newport feel too.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like kind of right in between Providence and Newport.
Yeah,
too,
we
so-
love Bristol. Bristol would be cool.
It's just kind of a far drive for us Rhode Islanders.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The commute. Yeah. We only want to open up shops in places that we want to go to, too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, right.
How often do you guys like go into the shop? Is it every day?
Almost every day. Providence, probably every day, just because we live right around the street. So we'll wake up, go there. And then Newport, we've been going more frequently as
It depends on the week. It depends on what we have going on.
Yeah.
Like, we have the office and the production facility in Pawtucket, so
Yeah.
I'm in there almost 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the week.
Yeah,
And then
right.
like we have Cole,
Yeah.
who's like our general manager, and so he's like in Newport helping as well.
yeah, yep, all over.
That's crazy. So you guys put together, you can just let them go and run it themselves and you worry about the business side of things pretty much, right? Like,
Yeah, we have an awesome team. And that was something when we started too, we wanted to take more of the flatline structure business idea of letting everyone have control and feel as though they are an owner,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is super important to us, sort of how like Google operates.
Right.
Because people we've found do rise to the occasion. If you hire the right people, they want to do better and want to improve. So we really rely on all of our employees to rise to every occasion, and they do, which is
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Problem solve on their own.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, it definitely means something for like to have an employee who genuinely like wants to work for you guys. Like they're not just looking for like a part-time job to
Yeah.
pay some bills or something, but
Right.
like you said, to give them almost like a sense of control, because someone
Right.
who wants to actually work for you like does want to like actually help and
Right.
contribute ideas and
Right.
like see the business succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And we want all of our current employees to grow with us too. We're always like telling them, you know, like if we all work at this together, we can get to the next level and you guys can grow with us, which will be really fun. So, yeah.
Cool. That must
Yeah.
be exciting to like watch this kind of like grow.
Yeah, it is.
And you guys are
It's fun.
growing quick too.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people do we have? 35 people working with us?
Wow.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
And everybody seems to enjoy it.
Everyone. We have an awesome team. We frequently do like team events and hang out with
Yeah.
everyone, which is always fun.
Trying to do one in October, right?
Yeah, the next one's a
Close
wine
the
tasting.
shops.
Yeah,
let everybody relax for a
exactly. Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But that's
yeah.
like that Google feel like you're talking about where
Yeah.
it creates that team feel.
Right. Yeah. We always hated to like there's certain restaurants we would work in and there would be a really top down management approach.
Yeah.
So I definitely quit many jobs in Newport
Yeah.
because of that, because I just couldn't take people telling me what to do.
Right.
So we tried to really embody that in our business and talk to everyone like they're our friends because they are. So, yeah.
It's interesting because like I said, like we talked to so many business owners and it's interesting to see like the inspiration you get from like the good, but
Yeah.
then also like you said, you would quit jobs because of like how it was. Like you're getting inspiration from the bad too.
Yeah.
You're like, now I don't
Yeah.
want to run like this. I want to
Yeah.
run like this.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
want to operate like this.
Yeah, definitely.
It's cool to like see both sides.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
What has been the biggest challenge, I guess, in transitioning from when you guys first started to now? Because obviously, I'm sure when it first started, you guys were doing everything, and now you have your roles now. Like, what's that been like transitioning?
It's different. I mean, we have a lot more responsibility now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 30 plus people that
Yeah.
rely on the business to make money so
Sure.
that they can make money.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I think for me, it's a little bit harder to relax because I am not super involved in the day to day, but I know that people are waking up at 5 a.m. and going to both shops.
That's
and then they're
crazy.
going to production at 6. So I have like 7 people that start working at like 6:30. So that just makes me a nervous Nelly of like, okay, well, like I should be up and I'm making sure everyone's good.
Yeah.
So I think that transition is difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like we might not be at the shop, but we're still like, we're up at 6 making sure that people are there.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we get phone calls from people and like,
Yeah.
we're working not just, 9 to 5 or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
We're working.
That's definitely been a difficult transition, is like we can't be everywhere at once now. Like
Yeah.
we have a production space, the Providence store and the Newport store. So just knowing you have to really trust everyone and like let it go and let it do its thing.
Now, do you find over time that kind of relieves a little bit
Yeah.
while you realize you can trust all these people
Oh,
and you know
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
good?
Yeah. Sam and I went away for like 2.5 weeks and we just
Is that
like,
tough?
Yeah, at first it was like my baby.
We left like a month after the Newport store opened.
Yeah.
geez.
Yep. So we really trust our team to make sure that they're running everything, but it is hard because, you know, it's I'm sure you guys know when you start your own thing, it like becomes a part of you. It's an extension of me.
Right.
So it's hard to sort of put that on the back burner for a little bit and not pay attention to it, but it's super important so you don't go crazy.
Were you able to relax at all on
Yeah,
vacation?
no,
Where'd
we
you go?
were.
Anywhere good?
We went to the Cayman Islands.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah.
that's
My brother's a dive instructor out there, so we went to go
Oh,
visit
no
him.
way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but it was
pretty
good
sick.
because we didn't have service unless we had Wi-Fi, and
Yeah.
most of the time we were on the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Chilling.
you kind of remove yourself a little bit.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is so important.
And we like prepared everybody that we wouldn't be around and to who to contact.
And you put things in
stuff.
place.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
what's his name? The general manager?
Cole.
Cole, yeah.
Cole
like I'm sure you know,
ran it.
you're like, Cole, look,
Yeah.
if anything happens, you're handling it.
Yeah,
Like,
something
things
goes
like that.
down, something sets fire. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
No
when
fires,
we
so.
when we
Yeah. No fires at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when we first started the business, I was I had a big vacation planned when I was on a cruise, and
Yeah.
so I had no service. And I mean, we had only been in business for like 3 months, and it was funny. Like the week before I left, we had just like basically like confirmed like 4 contracts with like all these new clients.
Yep.
So then I was like, shit, now I got to go on vacation and like not pay attention to
Yeah.
any of this. Like,
It's hard.
Yeah.
yeah, and,
Yeah.
like I didn't
Lots
have
of
service
Nitro.
on a cruise ship.
Yeah,
so-
right. Yeah.
But
It's super hard.
Mike's a big boy.
You need
He took care of it.
you need it though. You need
Yeah.
that break from not reality, but from your life. Or,
Oh, absolutely.
recharge
Yeah,
and rest.
that
and,
reset was like amazing
Yeah,
for the business, just to give yourself a break.
and then you come back like
Ready to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just more built up.
re-energized. Right, exactly.
like a new appreciation for everything.
yeah, right.
Even now, like we work every single day, and we have to tell ourselves kind of like, hey, we should probably take most of the day off today, or
Yeah.
like it's even just hard just to get yourself
Yeah.
caught up in the day to day.
Right,
But
because
it's
I'm
really
sure you guys
important.
know you're sort of working 24/7 when you work for yourself. But we've learned like at 6 p.m. we try to like stop, because if not, it's just unhealthy.
there's always something to do.
Yeah, there's always exactly.
Yeah.
There'll always be a million things you could be doing.
It was funny. I put out a post on social media the other day about like being a business owner and like all the different things that people don't see. And
Yep.
we just talked about like a lot of them. And you've been kind of hitting on like the mental side of it. It's
Yeah.
Like, you might not be like physically working, and you kind of said like, yeah, I might not be physically working 9 to 5, but like mentally and even on vacation, like I'm
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah, you're not emailing anybody, but like you're definitely thinking about how
Yeah.
things are going.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not totally checked out, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the mental game is like real. You have
Yeah.
to be like, you're constantly thinking about it
Yeah.
and what's going on and new ideas. And
You're always figuring out how to put out the fires. There's little
Yeah.
figure that pop up.
Yeah, right.
Trying to figure out how to put them out.
Yeah,
Right, right,
absolutely.
right. So,
Right. Definitely. Yep.
I just have like 1 or 2 more questions, but
Okay.
I could go forever. But what being, it's cool to have 2 partners, like we're partners. What has been it? What's it been like having to, or having the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the strength of having 2 people, 2
Yeah.
brains, like. You have your
Yeah.
set of skills. She has her set of skills. Like I have my set of skills. Mike has his
Yeah.
set of skills. Like talk about like how your skills and strengths like complement each other and what it's been like
Yeah.
as a team.
Well, in the beginning, we definitely did not set any job description or anything like
Right.
who
Right.
we are,
Of
who's
course.
better at what. So like we definitely had like a little, I don't know,
Difficulty.
tension,
Yeah.
whatever going on in the beginning, but
Yeah, because we
we've-
both cared so much, and we were like, "Oh my god!"
But
this
we
better be
quickly
perfect.
realized like, hey, we need to set job descriptions, and that's kind of like.
Right.
So Audrey's like the visionary. She what's up next? What are we doing next? How to improve the business?
Yeah.
And like I'm more of the operational side,
Mm-hmm.
like how to implement the things that Audrey creates.
Cool.
what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
kind of like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the same with you guys?
Yeah, because when we first started, it was the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
let's just get some contracts. Let's
Yeah.
get going. Let's make some money.
Yeah.
And then, like 6 months to a year in, we're like, all right, so
Yeah.
who's good at what? What
Yeah,
can we
exactly.
do? Let's-
How do
now
we
that we
separate
have some
this
money,
out?
it's actually, this is actually a business.
Yeah.
It's not just an idea.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So it
that
worked
was
out.
similar with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll think an idea was good, and then Audrey be like, "That's not a good idea." And then
Hey, I don't say that frequently.
no, I know, but I'm just saying,
Such
like,
an
but then
asshole.
she'll have an idea, and that idea ends up actually like being the thing that, makes the business work. So.
Yeah, but I think we definitely still struggle with that because every single day will be like, here's 15 ideas, we're going at it. But then it's like Sam's more realistic and is like, okay, hold on, we have to get the team set up. We have to do this, this, and this before that goes out. And so it's a good ebb and flow. We work nicely together.
It's definitely a push and pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I definitely, I'm aligned with you because
Yeah.
I'll come in and I'm so ambitious.
Yeah.
So I'll come in, I'm like, let's get 6 new desks.
Yeah,
We'll get a bunch of new
exactly.
computers. Let's get
Yeah.
4 employees. And
Yep.
Mike's like, okay, we have enough money to make payroll.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
for 7
right.
employees.
Yeah, that is Sam.
He's like, maybe we can do 1. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
we'll settle
fine.
for 1.
Yeah.
Pushing back on my ideas. Come on. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all
Like
good.
my newest thing is I'm like, I want to go pitch to, more investors and like, let's get millions of dollars and let's do 50 of these. And Sam's
Yeah.
like, yo, you need to chill.
Yeah, like
But-
let's go here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not.
But I think that's even from our experience, it's a good mix because
Yeah.
if you have 2 people with the same mind state, then it's never going to work.
No.
You need that push and pull.
Yeah, you need the balance because if you had 2 like visionaries, 2 people just
Right.
like it would run itself into the ground.
Right.
So yeah, the balance is totally key.
And it makes it more creative to have 2 different perspectives
Absolutely.
instead of 2 same
Yeah.
perspectives.
Right. Yeah, you're able to bounce ideas. Something that you might think would work really well, the other person gives a new perspective, and you're like, "You're right. I didn't think about that."
Right.
I think even on like a personal level,
Yeah.
it's good. Like I think me and Mike, even just as people, like outside of business, we're so different. And
Yeah.
even that is like just a good kind of mix.
Right. And when you're stressed out too, it's nice to be able to have someone to talk to that knows exactly what you're going through. I think it would be very difficult to run something like this by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's so interesting. Like we always talk about like what it was like before we like started like
Yeah.
because I was a freelancer and he was a freelancer doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so like I would be handling the financing all myself. I'd
Yeah.
handle the contracts. I'd handle
Right.
taking the payments,
Yeah.
doing every piece of the work,
Yeah.
communication, everything.
Yeah.
And so now it's like funny to think back and be like, wow, I used to do all of that.
Yeah, right.
But like now there's somebody to like share it with.
Right.
And like you were saying about being stressed out, like, it's
Yeah.
not an easy job.
Right.
So like if there's ever something that like is frustrating me
Mm-hmm.
and I can like vent and he's like, all right, let's like go about it this way. Let's go about it this way. Or like
Yeah.
vice versa. I
Yeah.
can be like,
Right.
all right, let's look at it this way. Let's,
Yeah. Yeah,
fix
exactly.
this issue by this way. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
You definitely need to have like a bigger perspective on like your relationship than just like
Yeah.
the business. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can't let that,
Right.
because the business is like super important to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't just let your relationship kind of affect
Right.
Yeah.
the business relationship.
Right.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because like I always say like to people at the end of the day, like we're still humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like Mike is still a person. Like
Yeah.
we're a business, but like we're being run by
2 people. Right.
who
Exactly.
have real feelings and emotions
Right.
and things they care about.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
You're only like hindering the business if you just fight about those kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Definitely.
All right, so I got a question.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I spend money on coffee from
Yeah.
crappy coffee places.
That's okay. We don't judge.
Is it possible to get a like nitro bar in here and
like a nitro K.
Yeah, like
Oh, a tap.
do you guys do that at all? Like
So we sort of do. We're working with a distributor right now, who is in the process of scaling and figuring all this stuff out. So we're sort of in a standstill at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Can maybe work something out.
Well, he's saying he can
That's
work
what I
your
want.
deals, like he's the real guy.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
We, with all the clients that we get, we just like have like certain rules to apply to everybody just to
Yeah.
make it so that it flows well for everyone.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
Definitely. This is the real guy you need to talk to.
Yeah, because
He takes care of the wholesale.
we would love to have one.
Yeah.
Putting me on the spot right now.
We can talk after.
We'll
Yeah.
talk after the podcast.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I guess my last question is like, what are some kind of like future plans for the business? And maybe if there's anybody out there listening who wants to start a coffee shop or something, maybe some advice or final thoughts.
Yeah. So future plans are we're definitely looking for more locations for other nitro bars.
Cool.
We want the next one to be bigger with an expanded kitchen because we have found amazing chefs and cooks that are working with us right now, and we really want to let them be creative and take control of it.
Cool.
And then ending advice, what would ending advice would be? Just to go after it and to accept being, not making much money for a little bit, and accept embarrassing yourself and just trusting the bigger vision that you have and going for it.
That's good.
Yeah. Be okay with embarrassing yourself because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Be
putting yourself
embarrassing.
out there.
Yeah, for
yourself
sure.
out
And
there.
all your other friends are working 9 to 5s, and you're on a rinky-dink cart posting selfies of
But if you really want to do it and you have like a drive for it, you just
Yeah.
can't really care what other people say or think.
right, you just
You
have
just kind of
to
have to be stubborn.
and
Yeah.
go for
Ways
it.
for
Yeah,
it, you
right,
know?
exactly.
I mean, you both are a great example that as long as you stick to something, eventually you're going to get that break.
yeah,
to
right,
succeed.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like you
It'll
said,
work.
you almost decided to quit on the cart and you
Yeah.
sent him out by himself. And
Yeah,
holy shit, we got to go by.
right,
Coffee.
exactly. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Be persistent.
That was like an aha moment.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was for
for
sure
sure.
an aha moment.
Open up a location in Brown.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
would
what
be,
if you got in with one of the colleges?
yeah, that
Yeah.
would
Doing
be
that.
that'd be pretty
Like a
awesome.
URI
Thayer Street
store or
would be a
something.
really cool spot.
Yeah, their street would be
Street
cool.
could be cool.
Yeah.
The rent there is nuts.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
So, but-
insane. And we sort
but
of have
there's a lot
like
of
an
people there.
equation too, and we're looking for stores like what kind of location we want to be.
Exactly. You just don't want to like find a space and like throw your
Right,
stuff
and go
in there.
for it.
It matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's curated.
We're always looking for like the Brooklyn vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Providence spot with like the black and white.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Sam,
Yeah.
I think I figured out where I know you from.
Where?
Did you work at Newport Creamery
Oh my god.
in 2010?
Yes.
Oh my
I was
God.
a chef there. I worked
No
there.
way.
Dude, wait.
I worked there for like a month.
It's so weird that you're saying that now because like
I
I
knew
don't
you
know
looked
why, but now you look familiar. And now I'm putting the Newport Creamery hat on you right
Yeah,
now in
there
my
you go.
head. I'm like, dude.
Wait, that is hilarious.
I was like, I know you from
'Cause
somewhere.
don't you like ski or snowboard? Or you
Yeah,
did-
yeah, I
you
did.
Dude, that's so
Then I
weird.
left for school, and I think you came in with like I worked there for like a month.
Yeah, you,
Oh
you
my
definitely
God.
trained me for like the beginning.
That's
This is
so
where you
my
learned.
God.
Wow.
so that's
the
so
master.
weird.
That's why when you
Dude,
walked
this is
in,
so now like totally know.
I taught you how to make like a grilled cheese or whatever. Quesadilla.
Throw some mozzarella sticks on there. That's Rhode Island for you
God.
though.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
Isn't that
god,
crazy?
wait, that is
That's
so
Rhode
funny.
Island.
I love that.
That's
Newport
hilarious.
Creamery, where it all
stuff.
began.
I should have said that was my first job.
Yeah.
And that would have been a.
I know. Imagine 'cause right there you would have been like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, I know you from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, that's so
funny.
amazing. I love
Shout
that.
Small
out.
world. Small
Newport
state.
Creamery.
Small state.
Yeah, shout out Newport Creamery.
Yeah.
Awful
Sponsor us.
milkshakes.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, I'll never go back there to work.
Yeah.
No way.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys. Tell everybody where they can find more about you. Shout out your Instagram, social media,
Yeah,
stuff
our
like that.
Instagram is the Nitro Bar _ or the Nitro Cart. We're more active on the Nitro Bar though. That's the fun one. So follow us there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check out their locations on Broadway in Providence.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the street in Newport?
It's off of Broadway in Newport as well on Pond
okay.
Ave.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
there. Wow,
yeah.
you guys are right in the middle of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Go check them out. My favorite is the chocolate bar. That's a
Classic.
great one.
Ooh,
That's a
I had that
classic.
the other
That's the one
day.
he had
It's so
the other
good.
day.
Yeah,
That's one
that's
of
a
my
really good
favorites.
one. Try it with oat milk. It's good.
I've been dying to try oat milk.
Yeah.
That's my next
Ever
one.
since
Oat milk.
I've had oat milk, it's just like
Game changer.
Can't go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't go back.
everything else is.
All right.
No, it's
Shit.
good.
Go try them out. Go follow them. Say hello. They're great people. Great coffee. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Follow us on Instagram at UpInYourBizPod. If you have any questions for us or for them, hit us up there and pass it along to your friends, your family, your mom. And we'll see you next time.